So this is definitely a case where, like, if y'all are in this situation, I would highly, highly recommend a mental health evaluation. All right, how do you stop being racist? I'm 18-year-old male in Pinoy living in Seattle. I wasn't racist until 3 months ago when I started to get a sense of racial hierarchy. It's basically all the stereotypes. It's some kind of internal evil that came forward or brainwashing I picked up from the media I consume. I feel like I can't trust people unless they're Asian, and I have an obsession with Asian superiority. I've spent months binge reading and binge watching YouTube channels about how race isn't real, and I know it's wrong to be racist logically speaking, but can't make myself fully believe it. Okay, let's pause here already, okay? So we just talked for a second about egosyntonic and egodystonic, okay? So as a reminder, egosyntonic thoughts are thoughts that like enter your mind and align with who you are. And egodystonic thoughts are ones that enter your mind and like don't align with who you are. So if we think about someone, and remember, they're not necessarily good or bad, right? So you can have good egosyntonic thoughts or you can have bad egosyntonic thoughts. So people who are like actually racist, generally speaking, will have racist thoughts that are egosyntonic. So they'll say to people like, oh, you know, like these immigrants should leave my country. Immigrants are bad. They're nasty, whatever. They're lazy, like whatever. So like someone is happy to have those thoughts. They think those thoughts are correct. They love to share them with the world. They think that they like kind of align with things, right? So what we're seeing here are egodystonic racist thoughts. So this person like recognizes they have these thoughts and they're like trying to brainwash themselves. Something happened 3 months ago where they kind of like, you know, started having like these racist thoughts. And now they're trying to like brainwash themselves in the opposite direction. So that's very egodystonic. Okay? So this like it's sort of like I recognize these thoughts are wrong, so let me try to fix them. So if you're trying, you know, if you don't like the thoughts that you're having, they're egodystonic. So let's keep going. Okay? So I've spent I start to doubt content creators and get suspicious about their intentions if they aren't Asian. I get so uncomfortable that I have to watch something else at the same time while I just listen if I care about their opinion. I feel like the more I try to desensitize myself to non-Asian people, the more uncomfortable I get, right? So this is where, do you guys see like the egodystonicness here? There's like, they're trying to fix it, but the more they expose themselves to non-Asian people, the more uncomfortable they get. So I'm going to go ahead. So there's some stuff here about like, I'm worried that I'll become violent, lose control, and commit hate crimes. I'm afraid to go outdoors because I might snap. I was going to go to college and get a job, but I canceled it all and did nothing with my life because I didn't feel well. So we're going to go ahead and pause here for a second too. So this is definitely a case where, like, if y'all are in this situation, I would highly, highly recommend a mental health evaluation. So here's the key thing to remember. Mental health evaluations are not necessarily about whether you're ill or not ill. I know that sounds kind of weird because we're talking about mental health evaluations, right? So I think the main thing to remember is that if whatever is going on is impairing your function and preventing you from living the life that you want, you should go get evaluated by a mental health professional. So this is a case of an 18-year-old person who was going to go to college and now isn't going to college. That's the kind of thing that we call in the field of psychiatry impairment of function. So this it's not an issue of like whether you actually have a neurochemical imbalance or not. That's not really kind of like what we're talking about here. It could be, it couldn't be. But my point is that if your life is so severely impacted by this stuff, whether you have a real diagnosis or don't have a real diagnosis, that's irrelevant. Like the main thing is that you want to live a particular life and something is going on inside your mind that is preventing you from living this life. So if y'all meet that kind of criteria, you should definitely go and see a mental health professional. Does that make sense? So it's really about impairment of function, because I want y'all to think about mental health professionals as like, they're not just about treating the sick, okay? Mental health professionals are a resource for you to utilize to build the life that you want. That's why we're here. We're a tool in your toolbox, right? It's kind of like half of y'all are running around with like debuffs at half HP, and you keep on wiping when you zone in. It's like this person trying to zone into college. and they've got like 20% HP and like have all these stacking concentration debuffs. Minus 50% to concentration. Mana pool is cut in half. And you're zoning in and you're wiping. So if that's the case, like if y'all are zoning in and wiping and you're not able to like live the life that you want to live, go get evaluated by a mental health professional.